A good afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast for this episode 329. Blarney Carney, or better yet, the tools and their toolboxes. That's right. Coming up in this January 19th episode. Test. The rat race has begun, ladies and gentlemen. My God, everyone's vying for Liberal leadership, and they all want to stand and fight for Canada all of a sudden. Yet, where were they years ago? Tisk. All that more come on the podcast, folks. Listener and view discretion is advised because I will swear, smoke cigarettes, make funny faces, and make fun of these buffoons that call themselves our leaders. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 329, Crusty Canuck podcast. Blarney Carney, or better yet, the tools and their toolboxes. Hello, everybody. Sorry for my absence the past little while. I've been working really hard the past week. So things have been, tougher than usual. But if you like and hear what you see, don't forget to click like, subscribe, share this podcast, all of your social media platforms. Get the word out there. Let us Canadians know, other Canadians, other individuals, doesn't matter where you're from. I don't care if from the States or from Europe or anywhere else. I've had a lot of people download my show from across the globe. And I'm very lucky and fortunate. I want to thank you all for the people that have stuck around this little while. Give yourselves a round of applause. You know what I mean? Because you guys are awesome. You guys are totally awesome. Anyhow, make a long story short. Here in Canada, we've got a race now who's going to be a Liberal leader and the defunct or de facto prime minister because Justin resigned. Okay, now I've got some videos queued up here that I've been working on the past little bit here. Some from Rebel Media and some about Blarney Carney, carbon tax Carney, Bank of Canada governor and a Bank of England governor and all around WEF supporter and sponsor. And of course, globalist himself. Right. So when I look at Mark Carney, he's just basically a rich kid who's gotten away. Now, I don't have any video of him showing up to his little spiel that he had in Edmonton there a couple of days back, but he come up in a limousine, just maybe rubbing in people's faces. And his speech was pretty dry, dull, pretty lame. And to make a long story short, it's safe to assume that these clowns are nothing but Justin Trudeau 0.20, right? 0.20. That's all they are. They're not different ideologues. They don't share any kind of different values. They're roughly all the same. They all agree with the carbon tax. Now, recently, Miss Freeland, she just did her speech in Toronto there. Basically talking to her constituents, just like she talks to people in Parliament, trying to sound all tough, talking all tough. Oh, we'll play this game and we'll have tariffs and we'll do this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, bullshit. Okay. We are not seeing anything really different than Justin Trudeau. Okay. Now, I've said this before, my last little rants, my last episode, and my last little vids in the fly there too. Where were these clowns standing up for Canada during the pandemic? Okay, where were they? Where were these leaders and these intellects that were standing up for this country during the pandemic, or standing up for this country when we had people in the streets just recently burning our flag, spitting on our monuments, tearing down our monuments? Okay. What kind of investigations went into the church burnings? What kind of investigation went into the harassment that people were feeling or getting? Where were the convictions and standing up for Canada when there were Jewish people in this country being harassed because of what's happening in Israel? Now, Israel and Gaza have a ceasefire now. There's apparently 3 hostages from the Israeli side that were given back, and 90 have to go back to Palestine. So that's going to happen within, I guess, a couple of days. I don't know, but I'm sick and tired of following that war. What say you? Anyhow, I'm digressing, ladies and gentlemen. So when you look at this leadership that's been going on the past couple of days, Karina Gould, former heritage minister and secretary, throws her hat in. I'm going to cue up a video from her from her personal Twitter page. And I keep the captions on because I'm sorry, I'm a bit gassy here. And I just find this too funny because I just left the room because I couldn't watch Krista Freeland's speech, her lackluster performance about fighting hard. And I don't think she ever fought a day in her life for anybody except for her paycheck and her perks. And I'm going to put on some videos here from Mark Carney's little spiel there too. So I want you, my wonderful audience, I want you to listen and think about it on your own. Think about these people that are vying for the cabinet position to be the defunct prime minister. And what kind of strategy are they going to promote during their time as PM? Okay. So I'm going to play a little video here from Lorne Gunter from the Canada Press or from Sun Media there, or from the Toronto Sun. And he does a pretty good dissection of Mr. Mark Blarney Carney. So I will just share this with you, ladies and gentlemen, and you decide. You decide exactly. So just basically how they are based in nothing but garbage, how they are based in nothing but hearsay and fantasy. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, take it upon yourself to listen to what this clown has to say. Lorne Gunter is a pretty good reporter, and just to see what Mr. Carney stands for.
The former governor of the Bank of Canada and the governor of the Bank of England, and a UN envoy on green energy and finance, announced his bid for the leadership of the Liberal Party to replace Justin Trudeau in Edmonton this week. Are we in Edmonton supposed to be excited by this? The man still believes mostly that we need to phase out Alberta's number one industry, which is oil and gas. He may now not be in favor of a carbon tax anymore, or he might be. He's a little wishy-washy on that. But overall, he still believes that we have to go to green energy. Now, green energy doesn't work very many places without huge subsidies from taxpayers. Wind turbines, solar panels, all sorts of other ideas like biomass, burning wood chips to create energy. They just don't work in most places unless there are enormous subsidies from taxpayers. Take a look, for instance, at the electric vehicle business. The federal and provincial governments in Canada, Ontario, and Quebec have put almost $55 billion into EV plants. And EV sales are declining. EVs are not taking over from internal combustion engines. And you just watch, as of April of this year, the federal government is getting rid of its $5,000 an EV subsidy to buyers. People will stop buying them too. So there was Mark Carney in Edmonton being asked, Mr. Carney, you have said you don't think the carbon tax is very effective anymore. Would you get rid of it? He could not give a straight answer. He's there in Edmonton to try and convince people outside Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa, that nice little golden triangle. He's there to try and convince people outside that triangle that he's their guy. He understands their reality. He's in favor of pumping up the economy so that they have better jobs, higher incomes, and are better able to afford housing. But he couldn't answer a simple question about the carbon tax. Mr. Carney, yes or no? Do you favor getting rid of the carbon tax, which has added to the cost of living in Canada, directly and indirectly, and is incredibly unpopular, and at the same time has not appreciably reduced emissions? It was brought in to reduce emissions, and it hasn't yet done that. But he said, I'm going to be the candidate of economic growth. Well, that might put him ahead of Chrystia Freeland, because she's part of a government that for the last 10 years has done everything it possibly could to stunt growth in Canada. For instance, take a look at Donald Trump's tariff threats against Canada. If we had a pipeline to the East Coast called Energy East, or the Northern Gateway pipeline out to the West Coast, we could get around the Americans putting pressure on us with tariffs, because we could ship oil into Europe. We could ship oil to Asia. We could have undermined Putin's efforts to go after the Ukraine by squeezing European oil and gas supplies if we'd had pipelines and LNG to send fuel, to send energy to the Europeans. But we don't, because of the government that Chrystia Freeland was involved in, cut all of that off with her acquiescence. But is Carney any better? I don't think so. He still goes around the world as a UN envoy, or did until he made his announcement in Edmonton, pushing for more and more and more subsidies for green energy and getting rid of fossil fuels. He doesn't answer the questions about how he would make the economy better directly. He was asked, as I said, do you support a carbon tax? He said, well, I support a tax that would be more efficient. That means raising more money. That would be more effective. That means reducing more emissions. And, this is a good one, that would drive massive investment. What he's looking for is the unicorn of taxes. It doesn't exist. A tax that is effective, efficient, and drives investment. Welcome to Fantasy Island. That's the Mark Carney campaign. For Post Media, I'm Lauren Gunter.
Yeah, that was Lauren Gunter from Press Media there, Toronto Sun. Good article, I'd say, because, self-explanatory. You can't tax people into to victory, prosperity. Okay. Now, considering his background and how rich that man is, it's amazing how he's justifying the carbon tax. Now, Miss Freeland, Mr. Speaker, Twitch, Freebase Freeland. Okay. She's not sure about the tax either now. So she's basically pulling the Aaron O'Toole of 2021, right? Where, he was firm on gun laws and how, Canadians should keep their guns. And then he kind of backed off on it a bit and doubled down on it because he wanted to coincide with the Liberals on the whole gun issue. So we're seeing a lot of two-faced bullshit here, ladies and gentlemen. And, it's not going to work out for us. It's not. I feel in my bones, in the fiber of my being, there's going to be a bigger fight coming, and it's not going to look pretty for the Liberals.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
You're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 329 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. And it's beautiful 19th of January, 2025. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. This episode, the tools and their toolboxes. And I'll just show the card here to my friend Paul made for me. Blarney Carney, basically, that's what it is. Blarney Carney. He's full of shit. Chrystia Freeland's full of shit. And Karina Gould is full of shit. And speaking of Miss Karina Gould, yes, I'm going to put up her campaign spiel, her plea to the masses, right? And really listen to what she has to say, okay? Now, really listen to what she has to say, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to where she stands on this whole political dogma, right? It's just all bullshit. Smoke and mirrors. Let's play the people again. Let's just tell them exactly how we feel. This is something I shared from Marty up north. I don't really trust that woman too much. I'll just cue this up again, right? And I'll make it a bit bigger for you so you can all see how much of a fool this woman really is and how much of a tyrant she really is too. Because Blacklock's reporter found out that she spent roughly $360,000 and to slander anyone who disagreed with the convoy or spoke out against the Pandam and the jibby jabs, But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you guys decide. This is from Karina Gould.
There's a lot going on right now. I understand these past years haven't just been hard, they've been exhausting. The economy, climate change, and what's going on south of the border leave all of us feeling nervous about the future. Right now, Canadians have lost faith in our party, and we have to earn back their trust. We need to...
Okay, note how she says, we have to rebuild our party and earn back the trust. So are you admitting to something? Are you? Interesting how that drama unfolds. Anyway, I'll carry on.
Rebuild our party so that we can keep building our country. We need new leadership to fight for everyday Canadians. A leader who understands what people are going through and works every day to make their lives better. A leader with a track record of standing up to bullies.
Okay, that's fresh too. Standing up to bullies. I see. You had about 400,000 plus people in Ottawa, February of 2022, standing up to bullies like you, Ms. Gould, and Ms. Freeland, and Justin Trudeau, and Yara Sachs, who didn't like the term honk honk, yet, she's been bedfellows with some Palestinian officials. Anyway.
And a leader who won't back down. I'm Karina Gould, and I'm running to be your next leader of the Liberal Party of Canada. There are people out there tearing down Canada, saying the country is broken, saying we should become American. So to them, let me tell you what Canada is. It's the local hockey rink or soccer pitch where kids shoot for their dreams. It's the maple leaf sewn on every backpack. It's the poutine and beaver tail after playing outside. It's helping your neighbors shovel.
Beaver tails and poutine? I don't think so. They're delicious, not as nutritious as you think, but they are delicious. But that doesn't make us Canadian, Miss Gould.
Their driveway after a snowstorm. We are a strong, hardworking, and caring people who do not back down from fighting for what is right. Canada can be the best place in the world to start a family, grow a business, and build a future. We are a nation of dreamers and doers, creators and innovators. It's where opportunity, empathy, and progress walk hand in hand. It's time for a new generation.
Notice that? Empathy and progress. Empathy for what? Really? Empathy? You have to feel sorry for somebody? Right? Progress. Progress to me is where you build a good bridge that can last 25 years or a good solid highway that doesn't need to be maintained every 5 years. To me, that's progress. Progress of people is where you get along. We're all raised with that. We don't need your oversight, madam. Tell us what progress is.
Generation of leadership that understands you and is focused on you. I'm here for Canada, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Join me so that together we can earn the trust of Canadians, build the future we want, and win the next election.
Yeah, Miss Gould, you're full of it. I wouldn't buy you. God, I wouldn't give you a piece of toilet paper if you needed that badly. That's just me, though, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what a bunch of crap that was. What a load of garbage. Okay? Yet, she's the first one to bully people, right? Have you ever seen her work in Parliament? She's a real crybaby, just full of it. Full of it, full of it, full of it. Total garbage. Total smoke and mirrors, really, a tool using your toolbox.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Just a reminder, if you're liking what you see, click like, subscribe. And to all my YouTubers out there, please just double check your subscription. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. Just double check, click the notification bell, all that good stuff too. Having some issues with some of my subscribers just going missing all of a sudden. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck, on this beautiful 19th of January, 2025, as we recover from the holiday season, as we recover from paying our bills, getting things squared away, getting things sorted out, and heading into 2025 with total optimism. Donald Trump is being inaugurated tomorrow for the 20th of January. Okay. And there's people that have been saying all this stuff about how, he's going indoors because it's cold outside and, is he afraid to be outside? And some people forget that there's been 2 attempts on his life since the summer. So in a way, I kind of don't blame the inauguration going indoors. I don't. And what gets me with these liberal leaders here in Canada, excuse me, they've been giving Daniel Smith, our premier, a real hard time in regards to negotiation for our resources. Now, every one of these crackpots, everyone from Melanie Joly to Mark Carney to Justin Trudeau, even though he's still sticking his head and his fingers in the pie, and Krista Freeland talking about our resources, how Canada might cut this off and cut that off. Well, I'd like to remind you all out there too, that there was a little bill they passed a few years back called Bill C-69, where it kind of stopped production and it stopped pipeline building, Energy East and Northern Gateway, to get our resources to the world market. Now, the United States, I think, roughly buys maybe 96, 97% of Canadian oil. Okay. And the other 3% goes elsewhere. I would like to see about a 50-50. I'd like to see the world market get in on that action, buy some of our resources. And that would help a lot of people out, not just the big corporations that Mr. Jagmeet Singh claims to be against, or the Liberal Party claims to be against, because they love them taxes. Oh, yeah, they love them taxes, right? Yeah. Get on that like a fat kid and a smarty, right? So with the Liberals doing what they have done the past 9 years, they're just talking a game. They're not talking shit. They can't do shit. They won't do shit. America is too big and too strong. And they've had many a year to do that. While we've had elected officials, and it's partially our fault too, because there's a majority of Canadians that did vote for this clown back in 2015. And partially in 2019, and by the skin of his teeth, getting lucky in 2021. So when you look at these voters that rally at these little gatherings for Mr. Carney, Ms. Gould, I called him, well, who knows how she identifies, and Miss Freeland, what do you expect? Right? Get along to get along. Go along to get along. Get along. Follow the sheep. Right? What's going to happen to us? Who knows? It's going to take some blue-collar workers such as you, such as your friends, such as me, such as my friends, to really make a difference this next election. Now, note how Mr. Poilievre has been quieter. He's made his point. He's not going to stand for it. Okay. But I'm not going to bank all my money and bank all my trust in just one politician. I want to see some real action. What say you? Let me know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Anyhow, here's another spiel about Karina Gould from Rebel News. Sheila Gunn Reid did a great job putting this little story together. And I want you guys to listen and observe, right? And just, like I say, decide for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. The more we think for ourselves, the better things are going to be. So,
meet Karina Gould, the Liberal leadership hopeful with a history of truth suppression. Karina Gould is campaigning to be the next leader of the Liberal Party and, by extension, the Prime Minister of Canada. But what does her track record say about her vision for us all? Well, from her involvement in the Digital Citizen Initiative to her role in the Yaroslav Hunka scandal, MP Karina Gould's career is riddled with controversies that raise questions about her commitment to democracy, free speech, and transparency. But I think we all know the answers to those questions. She's not committed to those things at all. To learn more about Gould and the other high-profile Liberals vying to replace Justin Trudeau as the leader of the party and thus as the short-lived Prime Minister of Canada, please visit meettheliberals.ca. Now, as Minister of Democratic Institutions, Liberal MP Karina Gould launched the Digital Citizen Initiative, a program supposedly aimed at combating online disinformation. What it really did was funnel $19.4 million in taxpayer funds to projects that targeted critics of the Liberal government. Among the recipients of this funding, well, none other than Rachel Gilmore, a self-styled journalist notorious for smearing government critics as hateful extremists and being vicious towards the unvaccinated. This initiative wasn't about protecting democracy. It was about controlling the narrative and silencing dissent. Now, under Gould's watch, institutions like Carleton University received funding for projects that attacked legitimate protest movements, such as the 2022 Freedom Convoy, labeling them as hate groups, instead of promoting critical thinking, encouraging fact-checking, or even digital literacy. This funding was used to delegitimize Canadians exercising their right to peaceful protest or even simply question the government. Then there's Gould's involvement in the Yaroslav Hunka debacle, when it was revealed that an actual geriatric Nazi had been invited by the Liberals to be honored in the Parliament. Gould didn't own up to the mistake. Instead, she pushed to scrub
Dizzy
the
cow.
incident from the official Hansard record.
The recognition made by the Speaker of the House of an individual present in the galleries during the joint address to Parliament by His Excellency Volodymyr Zelensky be struck from the appendix of the House of Commons debates of Thursday, September 21st, 2023, and from any House multimedia recording. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
This isn't leadership. It's an Orwellian attempt to rewrite history. Gould's record shows a troubling pattern, but it's a pattern used over and over by these Liberals in the last 9 years, and so Canadians know it well. They use government power and taxpayer dollars to suppress opposition, rewrite inconvenient truths, and protect Liberal interests using sleazy, clandestine tactics to do it all. The Liberals just can't seem to put up anything better than Justin Trudeau 2.0, this time in a skirt. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. To learn more about the Liberals vying to replace Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as...
Yeah, and that was Sheila Gunn Reid from Rebel News there, too. They put some pretty good stories together. Really, I love Rebel News. I think they're all right. You know, one of our better independent media outlets out there, ladies and gentlemen. You know, they do a pretty decent job, you know, and they don't get paid the big bucks like our legacy media do. You know, they don't get the perks. They're actually pounding the streets as we speak, you know. So regardless if you love them or hate them, they're actually getting the information out there. Now, there's another part of another story they have where Mark Carney basically dismissed 3 independent journalists. Yet they had the credentials to show up, and he basically kicked them out. So what does that give you, right? As Ms. Gould was saying about misinformation, disinformation, she seems like an advocate for the whole newspeak thing that you read in 1984, right? Let's rewrite history because, you know, let's not pay for our mistakes and learn from our mistakes. No, let's just ignore it. It never happened. Ignore it and it'll go away, right? That old adage, which is bullshit. Bullshit, right? And that's just terrible. So you've seen the examples that these clowns have given to Canada while they were behind the Prime Minister. You've seen the examples what these clowns were doing behind closed doors. Mark Carney was brought in as an advisor, quote unquote, an advisor, right, to help the Canadian economic plight. Okay, but he's a believer in carbon tax. Now, he doesn't want the carbon tax, wants to call it something else, but still want to take more money from you. Miss Gould is the same thing. Okay. Tax. Miss Freeland is the same thing. So it's all basically Justin 2.0. Okay. Whatever, you know, it's just, you know, as Pierre Poilievre said, different faces, but still the same mandates, the same ideology, the same bullshit. Okay. The same garbage. And we shouldn't have to stand for it, ladies and gentlemen. We shouldn't have to. Right? You know, I had some nice comments there in my last vids in the fly there. Thank you very much. A round of applause to all you wonderful people out there. You guys are awesome. Don't ever forget it, too. And just a reminder, too, if you like and hear what you see, click like, subscribe, share this content all over your social media platform, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be shy. Let me know what's on your mind, you know. And even if you see this in the premiere sometime this afternoon or early this evening, give me some comments. Let me know where you're from, where you're writing from. I don't care where your part of the world you are. I don't care what you do with your personal time. If you're watching from Europe, let me know. Watching from the States, let me know. Anywhere in Canada, anywhere else, just let me know what's going on. Okay? Just keep it in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hearing voices here. I'm sorry. Maybe it's the feedback on my headphones. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going a bit loopy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all my spiel going to be for today because I'll just get too angry because I was getting angry listening to Krista Freeland talk today on CTV. And I was just, I wanted to puke, honestly. Just the BS about fighting for Canada and the BS how she's going to stand here and how our economy did so well under her. Just garbage after garbage after garbage. Okay. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing how things are sinking like this, how they're taking the time now to elect a new Liberal leader and become the de facto PM until an actual election is called. Okay. Just in time for President Trump's inauguration. Interesting, eh? Now, do I believe Mr. Trump has some tricks up his sleeve? Of course he does. He's big business. He's always had tricks up his sleeve, regardless of who he's allied with or not. But we've seen a government the past 9 years that have constantly have tricks up their sleeves. Prorogation, filibustering, wasting people's time, wasting taxpayer dollars on stupid things. And then they turn around and say, the economy is doing fine. There's nothing to see here. Bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think for yourselves in the next couple of months. And there might be some hard times coming, but prepare yourselves. Okay? Keep this clear and keep this hard. That's all I got to say. Keep your head clear, keep your heart hard. Anyway, that's enough of me for this beautiful 19th of January, 2025, ladies and gentlemen. I wish good things for you all out there. This Tuesday, I'll have another episode up and running for you too. Don't fret, and I will do my utmost best to get 3 solid episodes up for you a week. I do the vids on the fly to kill time and to let you know what's going on, my point of view to yours, all that good stuff. Just a reminder, too, if you like and hear you see, click like, subscribe, share this content on all of your social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what's on your mind. Yeah, my contact information will be in my description. All the videos that I played for you here today will be in my description, too, so you can check it for yourself at your own time. Whatever you like to do, assess accordingly. And we just go from there. But, the weather here now is a nice balmy minus 33 Celsius. Oh, my God. So, so bundle up, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be shy. Keep your wits about you. Make sure your vehicles are plugged in. You get some hot drinks and you can keep yourselves warm and nice and toasty there too. Even though it's going to cost us a few more bucks in the next couple of months to heat our homes, but nonetheless, we shall persevere. Do what you can. Help you out in these trying times, ladies and gentlemen. Look after your friends, your loved ones. And like I always say, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, folks, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.